So let us begin with question number 5. It says a sum of money invested at compound interest amounts to 16,500 at the end of 1 year and rupees 19,965 at the end of 3 years. So the amount at the end of first year and the amount at the end of third year, 19,965 and 16,500. Let me confirm it. Amount at the end of first year is 16,500, whereas amount at the end of 3 years is 19,965. Find the rate and the original sum invested. So we have done a similar type of sum in the previous exercise where they had given us the compound interest for the 2 different years. What we can do over here is now rate not available, principal not available. Can we apply the formula? What is the formula? So A3 would be P 1 plus R upon 100 raised to 3. Perfect. What about A at the end of 1 year? So it's going to be upon P 1 plus R upon 100 raised to 1. P will get cancelled. A3 value can be substituted 19,965 upon 16,500 is equal to 1 plus R upon 100 raised to 2. Check it out. If you would have A cube upon A, that is A raised to 1, so the outcome would be A square. In the same way, 1 plus R upon 100 raised to 3, 1 plus R upon 100 raised to 1, so the outcome would be A square. So outcome is 1 plus R upon 100 square. We know that this portion is square, so undoubtedly even this portion has to be square. Can we divide this number by 15 because both are divisible by 15? If you divide by 15, you get 15 ones-a, again 1 will come. So 15 ones-a, you get 1100. Whereas if you divide this by 15, 15 ones-a, 15. So carry 4, 5s-a, 45, carry 4. Again 5, not 5s-a, but sorry 9s-a. 15 5s-a, not 5, 15, 5s-a. It would be 3s-a. 45 3s-a and 1s-a. So we get 1 3 3 1 upon 1100 is equal to 1 plus R upon 100 square. Is there any possibility of dividing it further? Yes, sir. 11. So 11 into 100 and this will be 121. So we get 121 upon 100 equals to 1 plus R upon 100 square. As I told you, this has to be a square. 11 upon 10 square equals to 1 plus R upon 100 square. Can you remove the square from both the sides? 11 upon 10 equals to 1 plus R upon 100. 11 upon 10 minus 1 equals to R upon 100. That would give you 1 upon 10 into 100 equals to R. Therefore, R equals to 10% per annum. So we found out the rate, but yet we have not found out the principal. But then shouldn't it be very easy for all of us to find out the principal also? Because rate is known to us. Rate is 10%. So amount equals to principal 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n. As we know, amount is 16,500, principal is not known, rate is 10%. All information is given, amount 16,500, principal not known, 1 plus R. I already found out, and this was at the end of 1 year, so we take it 1 year. 0 cancel 0, 16,500 equals to P 11 upon 10. So my dear friends, 16,500 multiply by 10 upon 11. So this is going to be 11 ones-a and 5s-a. That's 15,000. So my dear friends, it was a very simple question. Very, very simple question. Let us move on to the next question. Question number 6. the difference between the compound interest and the simple interest on rupees 7,500 for 2 years is 12 at the same rate of interest per annum. Find the rate of interest. So basically they had given us the principal portion. This is question number 6. So principal, they have mentioned the difference between the CI and SI on 7,500. So on 7,500 for difference between CI and SI, rate, time. So once you read the question, you get an essence of the fact that the difference between the CI and SI on 7,500 for 2 years. So number of years available. That is how much? 2 years. Okay. Is found to be how much? Rupees 12. So the difference is rupees 12. What is the rate? So we are unsure about the rate. We don't know what exactly is the rate. So what do? First find out SI. SI is P into T into R upon 100. We don't know the SI, but we know 7,500. Time is available with us, 2 years. R will remain R upon 100. So 150 R. This is my SI. Can we find CI? Yes, sir. By using the formula 1 plus R upon 100, the whole thing raised to n minus 1. So what would be my CI? Not known. Principal 7,500. 1 plus R, rate is not known, upon 100. The whole square minus 1. So this is my CI. I cannot expand it any further. Knowing the fact that CI minus SI equals to rupees 12. So CI is 7500. 1 plus R upon 100 raised to 2 minus 1 equals to CI minus SI, which is 150 R equals to 12. Now we need to solve this question. Of course, yes, it would be challenging because this will involve quadratic equation. Let us see how it works out. So here we go. 7500. 1 plus R upon 100, the whole square, minus 7500 minus 150 R minus 12 equals to 0. My dear friend, question number 6 is one of the most challenging question in the entire textbook. It requires lots of conceptual understanding for the purpose of making an attempt to solve question number 6. So I would appreciate in case if you concentrate on question number 6 and give your extraordinary attention. See, one must understand the fact that simple interest year after year, every single year remains the same. Whereas my compound interest does not remain same. It keeps on increasing. And the mere reason for the increase in the compound interest as compared to the simple interest is because, sir, the additional interest that you receive at the end of each year get reinvested. I will explain to you this with the help of a very simple example. How can we find out the difference between the simple interest and the compound interest? Remember, the interest for first year, that is whether you call it simple interest or you call it compound interest, it's going to remain the same. It will not change. You follow simple interest, you follow compound interest, whichever method you follow for the first year, both will remain the same. Let us have an illustration with respect to this. On one hand, you have simple interest calculation. On the other hand, you have compound interest calculation. Let us say my principal is rupees 10,000 and my rate is 10%. So what would be the simple interest for time 2 years? So simple interest would be 10,000 multiplied by 10% for 2 years. So that would be how much? So it will come up to rupees 2,000. For your understanding and information, I'll tell you that simple interest for first year would be 1000. Simple interest for second year would also be 1000, because simple interest year after year would remain the same. It will not change. First year 1000, second year 1000, total amount 2000. If you find compound interest would be for first year, it would be 10,000 multiplied by 10% for 1 year. So that's going to be 1000. That means when you compare, compound interest for 1 year is 1000. What about the compound interest for second year? So my answer to this is that compound interest and simple interest for first year are always same. So the difference at all between the simple interest and the compound interest total, the difference between the two is only because of the second year and not because of the first year. Let us find out compound interest for second year. For that purpose, you have to find out the principal. How? So I started with 10,000. I earned 1000. So now my principal is 11,000. My compound interest for second year would be 11,000 multiplied by 10% for 1 year. That gives you 1100. So the compound interest for the second year is 1100. You know, my dear friends, at the end, if you go to see, can I say the difference between the CI, compound interest, and simple interest? The difference is rupees 100. You know how do I got this rupees 100? I got this rupees 100 for a very simple reason, that what was the interest for the first year? 1000. So interest on this, on 1000 at 10% for 1 year. I'm not taking 10,000, I'm taking 1000. जो आपको फर्स्ट ईयर का इंटरेस्ट मिला है उसके ऊपर आप इंटरेस्ट निकालिए. वॉट एवर इंटरेस्ट यू गेट, that is the only difference between these two. You can check it out. The difference between these two is exactly that. So you understand, my interest for second year will exceed the interest of first year by how much? Sir, the interest for second year exceeds the interest for first year by rupees 100. But this 100, how do you get this rupees 100? Sir, I get this rupees 100 by taking interest of first year. In short, my dear friends, simple interest year after year remains the same. But if you want to find out the difference between the simple interest and the compound interest, the difference arises only because of the second year, not because of the first year. And this property we are going to use it over here also. That means if it was given to you in the question that the principal is 10,000, the difference between CI and SI is rupees 100. Rate not given to you. Time 2 years. Suppose if this would be the question, principal, you can check it out. As CI minus SI is 100. Rate 10%. Time 2 years. How you would have done this sum? So very simple. So I would say that simple interest for 2 years would be 10,000 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 10 upon 100. So my simple interest is 2,000 rupees every year. So simple interest for first year is 1000. Simple interest for second year is 1000. Compound interest for first year would be 1000. Compound interest for second year would be 1000 plus interest on 1000. Because CI2 equals to CI1 plus interest on CI1. Guys, you know this very well. So by expertising on this, we can do it. Have a look at question number 6. My question number 6 will make this absolutely functional for you. Now if you see question number 6, if you read, that mentioned that on the principal of rupees 7,500, the difference between compound interest and simple interest is 12. The time horizon is 2 years. Find out the rate of interest. So my answer to this simple question is simple interest P into T into R upon 100. So what is the simple interest for first year, second year both put together? So 7500 multiply by time 2 years multiply by rate not given upon 100. 000. What do you get? 150 R. That means simple interest for first year would be 75 R. Simple interest for second year would be 75 R. This is how you got 150 R. Done. What about compound interest? So compound interest for first year will be same as simple interest for first year, that is 75 R. What about compound interest for second year? So compound interest for second year would be compound interest for first year plus interest on CI1. We have already discussed this in the previous chapter also. We don't know CI2. This is 75R plus 75R into R upon 100. How much it comes up to? Sir, it will be 75R plus 3s and 4s. 3R square upon 4. This is compound interest for second year. The difference between CI and SI is 12. What is your total CI? So my total CI would be 75R plus 75R plus 3 upon 4 R square. So we know my total compound interest is 150R plus 3 upon 4 R square minus what is my simple interest? 150R equals to 12. 150R cancels. 3 upon 4 R square is equal to 12. R square equals to 12 into 4 upon 3. 3 1s are 3 4s are. R square equals to 16. R equals to 4%. My dear friend, this was a very interesting one. I found out simple interest for 2 years, that is 150R. This is just to show you, there is no need for me to do all these things. Simple interest for first year, simple interest for second year. There is no need for me to find out compound interest for first year because the simple interest and the compound interest for first year always remains the same. CI2 can be found out by using the formula CI2 equals to CI1 plus interest on CI1. So automatically you will get CI2. This is my CI2. So the total compound interest earned would be CI1 plus CI2. Total compound interest. CI1 plus CI2. 75R plus 75R plus 3 upon 4R square. So I am substituting this entire CI 75 plus 75 150R plus 3 upon 4 R square minus SI which is 150R equals to solve. Solve it, cancel 3 upon 4 R square equals to 12. You get the value of R as 4%. One of the most important question, unique question, easy, not difficult, but then of course yes, you have to pay lots of attention to it. Let us move on to question number 7 then. So question number 7 says, a sum of money let out on compound interest at a certain rate per annum becomes 3 times of itself in 10 years. Sum of money means principal is not given to us. Becomes 3 times of itself. 3 times of itself. So assume that the principal is 1000. So it becomes 3000 of itself at the end of 10 years. Some principal we don't know. At the end of 10 years it becomes 3000. Alright. What it says further? Then it says find in how many years will the money become 27 times of itself at the same rate of interest. We have to find in how many years it's going to become 27 times of itself. That means in how many years the money will become 27,000. We have already done a similar type of sum before also. Let us apply the same analogy to solve the sum. A equals to P 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n. Amount is given to you as 3000. Principal is 1000. 1 plus R not available with us. Upon 100 raised to 10. Raised to 10 because it's given to us at the end of 10 years. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So guys, you get 3, 1 plus r upon 100 raised to 10. This is my equation number 1. We have already done a similar sum before also. Same to same type of sum. After this, knowing that amount equals to P 1 plus R upon 100 raised to n is the formula. Amount is given to you as 27,000. Principal 1,000. 1 plus R upon 100. After how many years? We don't know how many years. If you see 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 cancels. 27 can be written as 3 cube equals to 1 plus r upon 100 raised to n. Knowing the fact that this is 3 cube, we know the value of 3. Look at this, 3. 3 can be replaced by 1 plus r upon 100. 1 plus r upon 100 raised to 10. I am replacing this 3 with this. Cube equals to 1 plus r upon 100 raised to n. I hope you understand what I am saying. I was having 27. 27 can be written as 3 cube. Then the same thing. Now since in the first one I have the value of 3. Check it out, 3. 3 can be written as 1 plus r upon 100 raised to 10. So in place of this 3, 1 plus r upon 100 raised to 10. This portion is there. This 3 remains as it is, equal to 1 plus r upon 100 raised to 10. So what do you get? So 1 plus r upon 100 raised to 10 into 3, 30. 1 plus r upon 100 raised to n. If you compare both, automatically you get to know n is nothing but 30 years. A similar type of question done in the previous exercise also. So it was more or less the same type of question. Let us move on to the next question. That is question number 8. This was question number 7. We move on to question number 8. So question number 7. What does it say? It says Mr. Sharma borrowed a certain sum of money at 10% per annum compounded annually. If by paying 19,360 at the end of second year and 31,944 at the end of third year, he clears the entire amount of loan. A similar type of question was done. I can give you a reference to the question. A same to same type of question was done. It was, wait, I need to tell you that so that even you understand. It was question number 10, exercise 3B. Same question. Question number 10, exercise 3B was same to same question as the one which I am reading it right now. Mr. Sharma borrowed a certain sum of money at 10%. So as we know that the rate is 10%. And then he is paying 19,360. 19,360 he paid at the end of second year. End of second year. And after that he paid 31,944. 31,944 at the end of third year. So this payment was made at the end of second year. This payment was made at the end of third year. He must have borrowed certain money. We don't know how much he borrowed. What he borrowed is not known to us. Rates are known to us. Times are known to us. 2 years. So can you find out the principal for this portion? Yes, sir. Same way, rates are available. Sir, time available, sir. 3 years. So can you find out the principal for this portion? Yes, sir. How? So by applying that formula, amount equals to principal 1 plus r upon 100 raised to n. So when I apply this amount 19,360, I don't know the principal portion. 1 plus 10 upon 100 raised to 2. 0 cancels 0. 19,360 equals to P multiplied by 10, 11. 121 upon 100. Therefore, your P would be 19,360 multiplied by 100 upon 121. Now when I do this calculation, of course we'll have to find out how much it is. But my dear friends, understand, this is part of the loan. Because whatever loan you have taken, whatever loan, you are paying part over here and part over here. So what part of principal you have paid, you will come to know by way of P1. So you will come to know, okay, how much amount you have paid. When you do this, this will be 16. So you get rupees 16,000. That is this portion. Similarly, you are going to do this one, this part. 31944 equals to P1 plus R upon 100 raised to 3. 0 cancel 0. 31944 equals to P multiplied by 11 cube 1331 upon 1000. Therefore, your P2 will be rupees. How much? 31944 into 1000 upon 1331. So we can easily find out this value as well. 4 4, so it's going to be 24,000. That means the total amount of the loan taken would be P1 plus P2, 16,000 plus 14,000. Total loan would be 16,000 plus 24,000. That would be rupees 40,000. Please excuse me for writing the answer to the question all over the board in little bit haphazard manner, but I'm sure you can get to know this is my analyzation of the question stating that the loan amount is unknown, but the amount has been paid in 2 installments, the first one being 19,360 at the end of second year. So let us find out what was the principal portion. I found out the principal portion for this part, which is 16,000. Then I found out the principal portion for this part, which is 24,000. So both principal portion put together in perspective will give you 40,000. Very simple one, just you need to know and be clear about your own analyzing skill of doing this question. This was question number 8. Similar to question number 10 of 3B. So while doing 3B, in case if you have done your 3B well, you will know this question without any help. Let's move on to the next question. So guys, the last two questions, question number 9, already done several times. You must be very much accustomed with this question. The difference between the compound interest for a year payable half yearly and the simple interest on a certain sum of money let out at 10% for a year is 15. So they have given to you simple interest, you can find compound interest, you can find rate 10%, principal unknown, but the difference between CI and SI is rupees 50. What do we have to find? We have to find what is the value of our principal. The difference being rupees 50. So can I assume? Let principal be rupees 1000. So simple interest would be, sir, P into time. Time is given to us? Yes, it's given 1 year. The difference between the compound interest for a year, payable half yearly, and simple interest for a year, rate 10% upon 100, 0000. That's going to be 100. What about compound interest? See, compound interest would be P 1 plus R upon 100. But sir, because they had given half yearly, so we will take 200. We have to find compound interest. So this will be raised to 2n minus 1. This is the formula for half yearly. Principal 1000. 1 plus 10 upon 200. The whole thing raised to 2 into 1. 1 year. Time period is 1 year. Time is 1 year. Let me write time is 1 year. This is question number 9. Minus 1. So when you analyze this further, you get your compound interest as 1000. 0 cancel 0. 21 upon 20. Square minus 1. So compound interest is going to be 1441 upon 400 minus 1. 1000 is going to be 441 minus 400 upon 400. That's going to be 1000 multiplied by 41 upon 400. 0000. So how much? So 410 upon 4. That is how much? So 102.50. Perfect. So what is the difference between the CI and SI? So CI minus SI would be 102 rupee 50 paise minus 100. That would be rupee 2 and paise 50. Now we can use unitary method. We know that when principal is 1000, the difference CI minus SI is 2 rupee and 50 paise. So when the difference is 15, how much will be the principal? Therefore, x will be equal to 1000 multiplied by 15 upon 2.5, which means 1000 multiplied by 50 multiplied by 10. Why? To remove the decimal. 25 3s are 5s are 1s are 2s are rupees 6000, my dear friends, 6000 only. Pretty simple and easy question. We are heading to the last question of exercise 3D. It's again a very simple question. The last question. So the last question of the exercise, question number 10. The ages of Pramod and Rohit. So we have Pramod and Rohit. So question number 10, 3D exercise. The ages of Pramod and Rohit are 16 years and 18 years. So Pramod is 16-year-old. Rohit is 18-year-old. Must note this. Alright, what is that? The ages of Pramod and Rohit are 16 years and 18 years respectively. In what ratio must they invest? So that means how much they should invest. Their money at 5% compound interest annually, so that both of them get the same amount at the age of 25. So first thing is Pramod will become 25. So 25 year minus 16. So we are talking about 9-year investment horizon. What about Rohit? When Rohit will be 25, he is going to become 25 only after 7 years. What would be the principal? Sir, we don't know. What would be the principal? Sir, we don't know. And both are different. They are not same. They have mentioned that how much each of them is going to invest. We have to find the ratio of the investment. So we have to find the ratio of investment means we have to find out x upon y. X is to y is how much? We don't know about the investment. What about the rate? It's given that 5%. Rate is 5%. What about the amount? Sir, amount what Pramod will receive is same as amount what Rohit will receive. It's given? Yeah, it's given in the question. What is the formula for amount? P. 1 plus R upon 100 raised to N. In place of P, it will be X. What about here? So, here it will be Y. 1 plus R upon 100 raised to N. Now, N over here and N over here, it's different. Here it will be 9. Whereas here it would be 7. Rate over here would be 5%. Rate here is 5%. So guys, this is what exactly we have. X 1s and 20s are 21 upon 20 raised to 9. Y same 21 upon 20 raised to 7. Since we know this is 7 and this is 9, so it can be cancelled. This will go off and will be 1. So we are left with x 21 upon 20 square equals to y into 1. X into 221. Sorry, 21 into 21, 441 upon 400 equals to y. We have to find x upon y. So we say that, sir, in this example, my x will be y into 400 upon 441. Bring y on this side. So divide by y on both the sides. So x upon y would be 400 upon 441. Therefore, the ratio of their investment would be 400 is to 441. My dear friend, the question is very, very simple over here. Pramod and Rohit, 16 year, 18 year. When they will become 25, so Pramod will become after 9 years and Rohit will become after 7 years. How much he invested? X, Y. 5%, 5%. What is the formula that we are adopting? So formula is